revolution will be live.
Cloud right now. Now, without any further ado, I want to open the floor for my boy Cass. I want you to tell me a little bit about yourself. Now, as you're doing your thing at night, we're going to do a little bit of talking, a little bit of joking, a little bit of real life stuff, talking about mindset, talking about the structure of what we do in the market and how, you know, the currency of the universe is giving, right? How we understood that along the way. And you get this information, you learn it, you master it, you apply it, and then you run into a situation where it requires you have to kind of open up and start to give to people. You have to open up and start to really share this because it's so valuable. It gets to the point that once you start sharing it, you start to get better at it. It's kind of weird like that, right? Like you open up, you give, and all of a sudden you get a little more confident, a little more precise, a little more accurate, a little more surgical. And I realized that the people who really start to give, it works as he who teaches learns twice, or she who teaches learns twice as well. Because I got some female instructors out here now. Y'all killing it. I ain't gonna put no elbows, Christina, Zane. So I'm just gonna go ahead and say you guys are in for an absolute treat today. I'm going to let my boy Cash take over, and I'm gonna stop sharing. And I want you to share. You on your computer right now, Cash, or you on the phone?
Yeah, I'm on my iPad.
All right, sweet. I'm gonna go ahead and stop.
You know, it's crazy. I could do. You know, you could do these presentations from the phone, right? It's absolutely.
Yeah, bro. That's how wild we done got with tech, right? So
bro, I was doing these whole
presentations
on the phone.
So go ahead and let them know a little bit about yourself, man. You can give me your social media, let them know what's going on, and we can get this bad boy rolling.
Oh man, first off, let me just give it right back to you. It is an amazing honor to be on this call with you. And what I want to first jump in right away and say, and I'm just piggybacking off of what you said, but when you touched on, I love you guys too. When you touched on actually sharing and that actually makes you better, there's an African proverb and it says, when one person teaches, two people learn. I didn't understand that when I first got started in 2016. If you guys don't know my story, it's really simple. I got introduced to iMarkets Live before it was what it was in 2016. At the time, I was a maintenance superintendent, making over 6 figures a year. So for you guys that are also trading and building the business, I want you to imagine your trading life and your lifestyle at $2,500 a week. Now, I'm from New York City, and in New York City, the maximum unemployment pays you is $400 a week. So when I got introduced to this skill set, it wasn't to actually share it with anybody. It was really to continue to grow my bag. And I want to say that events and circumstances lined up perfectly where Oren is my upline's my business partner. We've been trading together for, I think, 4 years, solid. And that gentleman taught me so much about the market. And he was the first example of actually opening yourself up to other people and teaching them the skill set. Now, when I say he opened himself up, I mean, I was at his job every day. And when I wasn't at his job, I was flying across to New Jersey to sit on his couch, to break down charts, to go over stuff, to learn the process. And he was the first person that actually like broke down, harmonics for me and how to actually use them. So the first thing that I'm going to do is thank you guys for being on this call, because you guys are allowing me to learn more, to better improve my skills. So I want to appreciate you guys for that. But then also I want you guys to drop a fire emoji in the chat for your leadership for putting this call together, because bar none, you guys have the absolute best in terms of leadership and education. So I'm going to actually jump straight into this. Let me just get a couple of things together. And okay. Where we at? Boom. And what I'm really been known for with the markets was it started off with harmonics, which was the M's and W's basically put from iMarkets Live. And what started to evolve from that skill set was a deeper understanding of market structure, market geometry. So where is it? Let's do this. Let's put a little notepad out. I think that's it. Perfect. And we're going to get rid of that. Okay. So what I'm going to show you guys first off is that trading is really just a game of repetitive patterns. Markets tend to repeat themselves. And what I'm going to touch on is the 3 pillars that I use to trading. One of the first pillars that I use is supply and demand. And that's very simple. We've all heard the concept before. Buy low and sell high. Now, there we go. Let's get crazy, man. Forgive me. We about to get crazy. All right. We're going to go with supply and demand as one of the pillars that we use. And I know Kurt touched on that earlier. And that's just simple, buy low and sell high. One of the other pillars that I use is market harmonics. Now, everyone here that is an active member, whether you started at 225 or 325, really doesn't matter. You have access to the harmonics scanner. So it'll be very valuable for you, in addition to learning some of the additional skills that Kurt is teaching you, to actually plug in and learn how to use the scanner. So all the harmonic scanner does, pretty simple, it's going to give us M's and it's going to give us W's. Now, if you're new, M send price up as W send price down. Fairly simple. The final pillar of my trading is Elliott Wave. And this is what I'm here to talk to you guys about tonight. Now, Elliott Wave is very, very simple. It is very, very basic. And it guarantees that you already know how to trade. Now, I'm going to ask you guys a few questions. And I want you guys to probably drop like maybe a 1 in the chat if you've ever heard of this before. So drop a 1 in the chat if you've ever heard of 3 strikes and you're out. So I know we got ones flying in. Okay, I know we got ones flying in. Elliott Wave's pattern was created back in the 1930s by a gentleman named Ralph Nelson Elliott. And you guys can Google him at your own leisure. But what he noticed while he was bedridden, poring over about 75 years or 80 years worth of financial data. So this was before your iPad, before the computer. He did all of this stuff by hand and with paper. What he noticed was that markets that seemed chaotic, you know, if you're brand new, the market looks crazy for you. It looks like a brand new language. What he noticed was that markets move in predictable patterns. Now, the pattern that he drew out looks exactly like this. And what he noticed was that these movements were actually governed based off of the way that you and I think. So early on Kurt's call, he talked about fear and greed, and that the fact that there actually is another person on the other side of your trade, right? So your harmonic scanner gives you M's and W's. Elliott Wave noticed that, Ralph Nelson Elliott, noticed that markets move in a predictable pattern. Now, when you're looking at markets through the glasses of Elliott, markets only do 2 things. They're going to impulse, and then they're going to correct. Now, in Elliott, we're going to assign these impulsive movements with numerical values. So all of the moves that go in the direction of the trend are going to be called impulses. And those movements we're going to label, give a numerical value of 1, 3, and 5. Wave 1, wave 3, and wave 5. Now, earlier, I asked you a question, if you ever heard of 3 strikes and you're out. And there's 100 people in the group, so I'm sure we got about 100 ones. The reason that I asked you that is because markets actually move in that fashion. So here's strike 1, excuse me. Let's count this as strike 1, strike 2, and then let's go with strike 3. I probably spelled that all wrong, but don't worry about it, right? Now, all of the moves in the direction of the trend, those are going to be called impulsive moves. Wave 1 is an impulse that goes in the direction of the trend. Wave 3 is an impulse going in the direction of the trend. And finally, you have your 5th wave, which goes in the direction of the trend. And this is where you start to see markets turn around or reverse. Nothing goes straight up. So in trading, the same is the truth. After a market impulses, it goes into a period of consolidation, or what we like to call a correction or pullback. So this is where your Fibonacci tools come in. And this class is a little bit more advanced. So I'm assuming that everyone here has maybe heard of the Fibonacci tools, or at least started using them. And if you're not familiar with them, this is going to give you a bigger incentive to go plug into your 𝐅𝐻𝐋𝐋 Academy and start to learn some of these basic terminologies that are going to help you put the market together. So 2 things that the market does: impulse and correct. Your corrections, we're going to assign numerical values at waves 2 and 4. These are going to be movements or resting periods in the market. So if we're working out or we go out for a run, we're going to run, and then at some point our body is going to need to take a break, right? We're not just going to run around the block forever for 10 straight hours. We're going to have to take a break. Those breaks in the market are called pullbacks. Or if you're looking at it through the eyes of Elliott, they're called corrections. Now, 3 strikes and you're out. Everyone has heard that before. And then the market starts to turn over. Forgive me if it looks a little disgusting, but don't mind that right now.
This is good stuff, bro.
Perfect. And then the market starts to reverse or turn over. If you've ever heard of death comes in 3s, I want you to drop a 5 in the chat. Death comes in 3s. Drop a 5 in the chat if you've ever heard of that before.
This stuff,
now,
this stuff is nature built into the charts, I'm telling you.
Exactly. So you heard this before. Now it's time to actually apply it to a chart. This is why I'm telling you, you already know how to trade. It's just no one has ever shown this to you before. So let's go with death comes in 3s. 1, 2, 3. And then the market starts to turn over or reverse. The final piece, and I know everyone here has heard of Bitcoin before. And if you heard of Bitcoin, you heard about the millionaires being created and how people were mortgaging their homes, taking out second mortgages, and all of these companies that were paying 3% a day for a certain amount of Bitcoin, whatever that was, right? It was a whole bunch of hype around Bitcoin. I want to say maybe a year or 2 years ago, before it started to take like its epic fall and then kind of recover from itself. When you hear about a chart, or when you're privy to the information and you look at your chart, by the time you get there, you've already missed the movement. The reason being is because you have retail traders and you have banks, institutions, your Chase, your Wells Fargo, governments, etc. They're not picking up the phone or sending us a tweet or a direct message when they're about to buy, let's say, USD CAD or USD JPY. You don't even know about it. You actually find out about it when you see a large candle leaving a specific zone. And what most of us do is we go try to chase that candle, and we've been taught, you see a big breakout, you draw your fib from here to here, and that helps you. You want to find your retracement between 50%, 61.8, whatever. All of those things are great. But markets, just like anything else, have their own cycle. You always want to be sharp in understanding where you are in terms of a market cycle. So what Elliott Wave actually did for me was help me understand a market cycle. There are certain parts in a market you don't want to be a seller. It will destroy your account. For example, impulsive moves going in the direction of the trend. Imagine holding a sell position through all of this chaos.
Right.
Some of us have done that in our
happens,
beginning stages. Some of
right?
us have made those horrible mistakes early on.
Oh,
And
yeah.
you just holding the sell, you praying for a reversal, and
Holy
it just
Ghost
don't
crazy.
happen. So what tends to happen, and that's when everybody's like, pardon my language, fuck IML, this stuff don't work, right? That's not the truth. You were buying or selling during the wrong market cycle. So what I started to see with Elliott Wave and how to put the two together was that when you have your harmonic patterns, and markets only do two things, they impulse and correct. What happens is that on one side of the market, you have an impulsive move. All of this to the left is impulsive, and everything to the right becomes the correction. Now, don't worry. This is all, I promise you, copy and paste. And I just want to set the table with this real quick. I'm going to show you guys this in 15 to 20 minutes. And everyone here after that is going to be able to trade it with a little bit of diligence and patience. I know this to be true because I took a group of traders on Wall Street and we did a little bit over 7,000 pips in a little bit over 6 months. I only sat down with them for an hour on Tuesday. That was it. So what I'm going to be showing you guys is absolutely powerful. And if you get really, really good at it, you can actually trade those monthly and weekly charts with like a $500 account. Just letting you know. Don't worry about it though. Just putting it out there.
I'm just saying.
Right.
I'm just going to let you know. So don't get nervous. So what we're going to do real quick, I'm going to give you my cheat sheet, okay? When I'm trading, this is all I'm looking for. Period. When I'm sitting down on my chart, I'm taking 2 diagrams all the time. I draw these 2 out specifically. Everyone here on this call has eyes. If we drop the E on the word eyes, we get the word yes. Everything your eyes start to see, it says yes to. You have in your head a reticular activating system.
Oh, he about to
that
get deep on
brings
y'all.
to you of mega importance. But the only way that they become of importance to you is when you focus on them. So the reason that I always draw out the Elliott Wave pattern along with the harmonics, whether it's just a basic W or not, is because these are the things that bring my trade setups to me, right? So my reticular activating system when I'm trading, I don't care what you're talking about. I'm only going to see the chart through Elliott Wave and harmonics. You could tell me about a million strategies. It could be gold cup. It could be pivots. It could be this over here. It could be that market maker method with the 4 strikes to the mayonnaise. That joint really makes you hungry if you've ever seen those videos. and it's like 9 hours of the McDonald's menu from 1 on through. Okay? I don't care what you're doing, but if you're telling me your method, I'm really going to screen it through Elliott Wave and market harmonics. Now, I use these to find market peaks that I can sell. I specifically only sell in the market. The reason being, if you've ever sold anything and you got paid really, really quick, is because markets move hella fast when you're selling. Buying takes up a little bit of time, right? The value of something takes time to grow or increase. But when you sell, boy, do you see those candles break out of there.
Bitcoin.
Exactly. Exactly. So, you know, you can see Bitcoin dancing around. But when you're in the right position and you get a sell, oh my God, you get bruh. So trading is the same way. But I want to tell you guys something that I learned from Mayweather and from boxing myself, and then also from basketball. Well, not this new age basketball where they don't play no defense, but the old age basketball where they actually play defense. You would see it generally where a person would play defense and they would try to push them to one side, right? So you got two sides when you're trading. You're either going to be a seller or you're going to be a buyer. What I prefer to do in the market is sell. I don't look for any buy setups. The reason why I am only looking for sell opportunities, one, my percentages go through the roof because I'm not looking to trade both sides of the market. I'm not looking for buy setups and then I'm looking for sell setups. Absolutely not. I am only looking for opportunities to sell the market. This is important. As we go through the harmonics, what I've figured out on my own and with some back testing, it's a lot better to sell in the market. You get paid faster. Boy, oh boy. So if you didn't, I want you guys to copy this down, these two diagrams. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to teach you guys really simple, guys and girls, that it is okay here to cheat. I know maybe in other places it's frowned upon, but here it is absolutely okay to cheat. So trading is a game of copy and paste. We're going to copy these diagrams to charts, and then you're going to see a lot of the trade setups that we looked at, that we took. So let's just close this out. Boom, fantastic. And let's open up a little trade platform here. Fantastic. Now, what I will tell you is when I do break this stuff down, I do it on higher time frames first. Because obviously you're not going to get a lot of movement on this higher time frame. So let's work with GBP NZD. And let's just replay the market just a little bit.
He said, stay on you, Jack.
Who said stay on you, Jay?
This guy and Juan was like, stay on you, Jack.
Oh, man. You paid us already, man. He gave out 30 pips, and I'm going to show it to you. Now, real quick, I don't know why my reverse feature is not working, but we're going to get, I like to draw. Trading is very visual for me. Again, it is copy and paste. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take the template. We're definitely not going to use that red. There we go. Perfect. I'm going to draw out the template. 1, 2, 3. And then the market tends to get into some ugly sort of correction. 4. And then we're going to look for a 5. Now, this is Elliott Wave. Or market cycle.
We got them both ways too. I see it on down and it's crazy.
Oh man, it was amazing. Wait till I show it to you, bro. It was great. But this will show you where Brexit came in at, because if you're a trader and you were here or you're in the know and you heard about Brexit, whatever, Brexit was this huge sell-off in the market. Couple of things I'm gonna tell you. That was already planned. So Kurt, when we were talking about the news, and how the news, you know, sometimes spikes up, down. Be careful, be calm. The news only sends the market in the direction it was already going. Here's another thing. Trump is not in control with his tweets in regards to what happens in the market. If someone tells you that, you just look at them, you lying. Okay? Now, Elliott Wave works really, really well. And as you see it on the downtrend, I'll show it to you on the uptrend. But I really want you guys to understand that markets move in cycles. So copy and paste is all trading really is. A market is going to extend up. 1. Wave 2 cannot break the low of the start of the move. So at no point can the market pull all the way back here and then break off. This doesn't work, okay? So it's very faint in here, but you'll see it when we go down to a lower time frame. The market actually didn't break this low. Now, wave 2 to 3 is your longest and strongest wave. This is institutional buying. This is your Wells Fargo, your Chase, the big money. When they get involved in a market and they click buy, you as a retail trader have damn near no chance of getting into this trade. They do this intentionally so they can get their money. They don't have to worry about paying you, and then they're out the game. By the time you realize that this is an uptrend, this market has already consolidated. Now, earlier I told you guys, markets only do 2 things. Impulse, plus they correct. Impulsive moves in the direction of the trend. Corrections go against. What I personally like, this is my favorite, is when a market is in consolidation like this, because I know for a fact you are very emotional as a retail trader. You are not designed to be in this. No one is. This is make a dollar, lose a dollar, make a dollar, lose a dollar. But most importantly, I know that you got into this trade way too late anticipating a big breakout because you don't understand market cycles. A market will impulse and then have a correction. One correction is going to be very, very simple. It's not going to look like much. This is going to be real market up, market down, goodbye. Another correction is going to be the absolute opposite, which is more of a complex correction where the market chops around sideways. This absolutely is the most exciting thing in the world because at the end of trends, when you go through your IML Academy and all of this other stuff, at the end of trends, what you will see in an uptrend, at the end of an uptrend, you're looking for certain signs of reversal. My favorite signs are double tops, triple tops, and most importantly, head and shoulder patterns. Excuse me. These are very, very powerful signals at the end of a trend when you understand market cycles, and then also you understand the importance of this harmonic scan. Here's why trading is very visual. Two, three, 4, 5. 3 steps forward. Now the market takes 2 steps back. A, B, C. For us that's looking at this, doesn't this look like the head and shoulder pattern already? Mm-hmm. Indications that a market is starting to reverse. This one concept that I'm going to show you guys was how we literally racked up over 1,500 pips in like no time. So we're going to save this, and I'll shoot this over to you guys. At the end of a trend, here's what I'm going to do. Let's see if we can do this. A trend line. One of these. I don't know why my MetaTrader this thing been tweaking. Okay. I'll visually do it this way. At the peak of wave 3, so you got your wave 1. Oh shit, let me change that color. Apologize. You have your wave 1. So the sworn I picked blue. Thank you. You have your wave 1, your wave 2 to 3, which is your longest and strongest wave. What I like to look for at this wave 3's high, I will project this move in the future. So we're looking at that price point. If you can see it, wave 3's high is right about here, and it's around 2.0, which is a psychological number. We'll talk about that later. I actually like to see the market break above this high, because this lets me know that the few traders that are in there, that you were so smart and they told you whenever a market breaks above a previous high, you wait for the retest and you buy that baby up. I love you guys because you have no idea what the hell you're doing. And the game of trading is taking money from other traders. So at the end of the trend, I'm looking for certain signs of reversal. Double tops, triple tops, head and shoulder patterns. And then I'm also using the scanner as an additional confirmation tool. Now, where's that? Oh, did it? Hold on. Bring it back now. Pull that. Get out of here. Can't be serious. Okay, there we go. Still playing games with me? I see. All right. At this waves 5 peak, right? Like I said, the market will consolidate. You'll get caught. You don't want to hold this long. That makes me really, really happy. All of this sideways consolidation to me is really exciting. You don't know what's about to happen next. I have a great idea. The market is going to peak out. I like to look left at this particular point because I'm looking for old levels that used to be support and resistance. So here we had support. When we broke through it, this level now becomes resistance when you come and retest it for the first time. That first time touch is very, very important, especially when trading. The rules of supply and demand, very simple. You're going to buy low and you're going to sell high. There's a concept and a picture that actually looks like. So a market, when you're selling, you'll have like a pattern. It'll be a drop base, a rally base drop, or a drop base drop. Simple. I don't want to lose anybody. Price is going to rally, and then it's going to consolidate. This consolidation now becomes your supply zone. Supply equals sell. The strength of this zone is determined by how long price takes to return back to it. You have supply and demand zones on several points of these charts. Because remember again, markets move in levels. This here is the supply zone, which is equal to sell. This is also an older chart, and we're looking in the past to gain a clearer picture of what can happen in the future. This was also a huge harmonic pattern. Actually, excuse me, let me tighten that line up. This was actually a huge harmonic pattern where Elliott Wave and harmonics literally go hand in hand. If this is wave C up to D, what started to make my trading very powerful was combining these harmonic patterns with the fact that markets actually move in waves. So at the end of these trends, when the scanner, I heard somebody say, wow, when the scanner was giving out trade setups, these were like the easiest things in the world to kind of see. At the end of a trend, I'm looking for obvious signs of reversal. Double tops, triple tops, head and shoulder patterns. What I'm going to show you now is on a lower time frame, we're going to examine where this entry signal came in. So this way you can see it visually for yourself. So you guys see that the market only moves M's and W's. Kurt, this one is for you, bro, because I know you saw it on the Elliott Wave on the way down. So I'm just going to show you. I'm going to just put that in there real quick. And this just lets you guys know that news events and stuff like that aren't really major. They're already planned into, they're already factored into price.
I tell everybody it's baked into the chart already.
There you go. That was something that my mentor taught me when she was teaching me Elliott Wave. And she said, very simple, market events like the news and all of that stuff is already put into the chart. So the fact that Trump is acting stupid at certain points shouldn't really be a mystery to you. You should kind of expect that because it's going to do some triggering in the market. So the Elliott Wave to the downside looked just like that. 1, 2. If you were a part of trading, this entire movement here was Brexit.
Hopefully y'all ate good off that.
Oh, I sure did.
I did.
This is wave 4 and this is wave 5. Now, the reason that I pointed out this Brexit trade or what happened in Brexit is because if you're understanding Elliott Wave, and like I said, wave 2 to 3 is your longest and strongest wave. This is the institutional wave. This is when banks and governments get involved and they're not telling you about it. Everyone else was so worried about what Brexit was going to do, if they were going to leave the union, whatever. Honestly speaking, no one cared. The market was already in a downtrend, and those institutional traders who sold up here already knew what Brexit was doing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, at the end of trends, you're looking for obvious signs of reversal. Double tops, triple tops, head and shoulder patterns. If you're looking at a downtrend, the same, but it's in reverse. So I'm looking for inverted head and shoulders. I showed this to you guys on the uptrend. Here it is on the downtrend. Here's the head. Here's my shoulder. Here's my opposite shoulder. The market proceeded to take off from that point. And isn't it interesting enough that the market came right back around that previous resistance level in here? So that's how you time your uptrends. But most importantly, to time this downward movement, let's go down. Let's go to a daily chart. I'm not sure why this shit is. Hold on a second. 1 second. My chart is tweaking. That always tells me whenever my charts start bugging out, when I'm in the middle of a call, that tells me that I'm giving y'all a little too much information.
Right, every time, bro.
They be checking on me, bro. They be checking to see what I'm giving out. Okay, let's go to the daily. Now, what we're looking at is examining this wave 5. If you don't see it, we could draw it in again, but none of this to the right happened. We're looking at the Elliott Wave. Now we went from one time frame down to the other. So now we're learning scaling, multiple time frame analysis. 1, 2, 2 to 3 is your longest and strongest wave. And then the market goes into a period of consolidation. I'm waiting for the market to break above this wave 3's high because I'm actually looking for symbols of reversal. Double tops, triple tops, head and shoulder patterns. There it is. Hold on. Here we go. Let's go back a little bit. Bring it back. There. Boom. Here we go. Wave 5's high. Right here. This is that wave 5 that we were looking at on the other previous pairs. What do you see when you zoom down and get an X-ray shot of this market at that very peak's high?
Shoulder, head, shoulder.
And
Celebrating on Halloween.
a double top. And then the market gapped away from this place. Gap aways in a trade. When you see a gap, I know most people don't like really associate them with this, but gaps, depending on where you spot them at, are huge indications of supply zones. And when you get a market that gaps away from a wave 5, boy, count the bank. Now, here's the beauty of it. The entry of this trade was here, and we had 2 of them. The entry on the 4-hour chart was here with a stop here. I'm more of a longer term institutional style trader. I'll let a trade run for a month depending on the target. That's just my particular thing. I don't have time to worry about this stuff. But the repetitive nature that markets only impulse and correct, that they only move in waves, right? And if you don't see the wave, you don't trade the pair, period. Here's the template. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. At the end of the trend, I'm looking for obvious signs of reversal. Double tops, triple tops, head and shoulder patterns. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Bang.
This was over a 1,500 pip profit.
I just saw a whole bunch of smiles just pop up across the top of the screen. Everybody was like, ooh, you shouldn't have showed me that. If y'all just got some value just out of that, let me get a 333 in the chat. That was like quick. He went through here deliberately, step by step by step. He held everybody's hand and then took you right to the mountaintop and said, ski on down that bad boy right quick. That's what I'm talking about.
This is what we use all the time when I'm trading. Elliott discovered that markets only impulse and correct. He also discovered that markets are fractal. So that bigger picture that you're looking at, like when we drew out wave C to D, that wave C to D actually breaks down into 5-degree waves. So it really looks like that. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then there's generally some harmonic pattern that gives you a wave 5.
Bro, like even right there, just below where you got the word gap, that could be the X going down to that last peak is the A, the B, the C, and the D. That could be that looks almost like a crab pattern we're looking at right now. Boom, right there.
That was, now here's the magic. I wish I still had the screenshot because I had to replace this iPad, but the harmonic scanner gave us a trade setup right in there. That's why I gave it to them on Wall Street. So while everybody tells you, you know, yo, I don't know about that scanner. Okay.
Yeah, bruh.
All right.
Cash all day.
We had a 3-hour session on Friday, bro, and I went over the scanner and I gave them just a little bit of sauce for using like the fibs, overlaying fibs with the scanner. And they were like, everybody's jaws was on the ground, like folks picking like gravel out of their beards. It was crazy.
But they'll tell you the scanner don't work.
Yeah.
Now, that's the path, right? What I'm going to now do is let's bring it into the future. So everybody see my screen? We're going to go right over here.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do them like this, bro. Not on the
Harmonic
first
scanner,
one.
right?
Oh my God.
I'm gonna show you
Every time I
guys the
do
trade
this,
setup
do
that we
this.
took this morning that went out really, really well for well over 30 pips. And when I'm gonna let you know about the scanner, it's over 80-something% accurate. That means from entry to take profit 1.
Before you get to going, bro, let me say this, please.
Yeah.
I had to cut the beat off for this. Listen, if you guys are not getting what he's showing you right now, he's about to, because I know what you about to do, bro. You about to flex like you Hulk Hogan up in here. So I'm about to get this out of the. I'm just getting them prepared. I gotta prepare people for this, bro, because it's about to be a whole nother thing. But because they're about to look at the scanner. The moment you're done talking, folks' fingers like this on their mouse, ready to go to the scanner. Everybody got arthritis right now. Like, come on and say it so I can go to the scanner.
That's a good thing.
Right now.
Because this is actually what helps you keep your organization. So if you're building and you're having people, they want to learn how to trade, you're probably doing the wrong thing if you're not pointing them to the scanner, especially when you have 6- and 7-figure documented educators that are doing classes on this every single day in the market.
And
So
the product, like,
here's the trade that we took. We marked it up on Monday in the class. Trade setup hit. Today, this morning, it was a beautiful 30 pip trade. What I want you to imagine is you taking a 30 pip trade on 3 standards. You don't need a lot. Just sit down at your computer. Just sit where you are right now and just say, if I took trades at 3 standards, only 30 pips, how would your day have been today? So here's what we're going to do. We're going to look at the scanner. Let me do one better for you. Let's take it back. I don't want to show you guys what happened today. Let's see what happened before.
He got all of it documented.
I got a screenshot of it. Oh, yeah, bro. I don't play, man. I don't play around, bro. What was it? That was USD JPY. Okay, here we go. Now, as you can tell, this was today, so we did I screenshotted it or whatever. This markup was from October 28th, 8 p.m. I was in the class, and I say, listen, let's open up the scanner, because somebody in the background had the nerve to tell me the scanner didn't work. And I said, oh boy, let me show you how to do this. So again, this is nothing more than what I already taught you guys and what we just went over. I'm combining 2 things, the harmonic scanner with Elliott Wave. These 2 components give me what's called a trade idea. Now, the way we mark this up is very simple. Trading is nothing more than copy and paste. I drew out the template. Now I'm actually going to paste it on the chart. 1, 2. 2 to 3 is my longest and strongest wave. All of a sudden, 3, 4, 5. Now, I'm not just going to run into this trade like a crazy man because the scanner gave it to me. That's not the best way to use the scanner. Right. I'm going to look for certain things or certain reversal symbols to give me an indication that it's about this time to tank out. Now, I like to take the entry with the scanner. This doesn't mean I always take the scanner entry numbers for what they are, but the scanner is just like a text message. Since we've been on this call, you guys have seen like the top of my screen, just notification. Some of them notifications aren't that important. Same thing with trading. The scanner is going to give you a ton of pairs all day long. This is the job. Some of these pairs to me aren't important. Some of them are buy setups. I have no need for those, so I don't pay any mind to those. I'm only looking for sell setups. So that deletes a lot of the noise out of my trading life. I'm looking for optimal selling opportunities. Those optimum opportunities have the Elliott Wave component in it with the harmonic scanner at the end. I like to find these little targets with a nice entry point, and target 1 just so happen to be 30 pips.
The fact that dude
Founded
came
your
early and
account.
said, stay on UJ. He went right to UJ just to show you, like, bruh.
Right.
UJ was just that. UJ gave out the money. So we entered the trade. We looked at the trade setup. Did we hit target? Was the question.
Yes, aren't they?
Okay. Now, let's give another look-see a little bit more into this pattern. I know you're not going to see it because the yellow, the scanner yellow thing is there. But again, markets do this over and over again. There's a wave pattern right in here. Head, shoulder, opposite shoulder, take profit. There was also some trend line stuff that we did on a higher time frame. You know, it was a lot of nice stuff going on in here.
Yeah.
Especially, you know, if you understand trend lines.
Yeah,
So
I see
what
what
I
you
did
mean.
with a quick trend line, real quick, I just connected the lows. Nice hit, trend line break, trend line retest. Here's my entry. All I need is 30 pips. Take my 30 pips all day long. Pretty easy, simple setup.
Mm-hmm.
We do this all the time on the same pair, same pattern. Nothing tends to change. So Aussie JPY was one that I was interested in. Did some markups on it. Right back to the scanner. Hold on, let me hold on. I know my screen stopped, right? One second. Where we at? Sorry about that. All right, we back. We lit. Right back to the scanner. The scanner is the function. Scanner's life. I'm going to my broker. Trader's Way, Hugo's Way. It doesn't matter which one you got. I got Trader's Way. They ain't do me wrong. And I don't trade like the cryptos and some other stuff. I particularly like to look at patterns on the H1 chart and higher. Those are more of the set it and forget it type of trade styles that work for me. Those tend to be the trade setups that work really, really well for me and allow me to set those trade setups up and actually forget about it. So you guys already see that USD JPY hit our 30 pip target. The reason that we're moving towards smaller degree targets, 30, 50 pips, if you compound your account, I think it was like over a year with 30 pip trades, you should be over a six-figure trader by the end of the year, compounding your account. So that 30 pip target is a sweet spot for the scanner. So whenever you hear somebody say that the scanner is 90% accurate, whatever it is, because they took over 800 trades, 900 trades, 800 of them came back as winning accurate trades, that reflects that the trade was entered and then went down to take profit one. Take profit two, take profit three, nobody cares about. Take profit one is where the money is at because that's what the scanner is giving its accuracy at. So I want to show you guys another quick trade setup that we took. As you could tell, there's a lot of great ones that came out of the scanner that were absolutely amazing if you were a buyer, but this was actually one that we sold. We made money on both sides of it. I'll just show you guys this real quick.
One of the questions in the chat was as far as becoming a six-figure trader at the end of a year, compounding your account starting from what dollar amount?
There's a spreadsheet that we have that actually showed you how to do it. You input your dollar amount and it shows you the compounded leverage that you need to achieve it at the end of the year.
Okay.
I got to find that chart setup thing for you guys. But again, we're looking at the same exact thing. We're going to draw out the template one more time. 1, 2. Market is only going to impulse and correct. And then the scanner is going to give you some nice little trade setup that you can qualify and look at and see if it's actually worth your time. Copy and paste. I think we kind of see this at this point. There's a 1 in here. You just have to go down to a lower time frame. You have a 1. There's a 2 in here. 2 to 3 is your longest and strongest wave. The market now starts to go into a period of what we call a correction. Let's just call this complex because it's ugly. Again, at the end, I'm waiting for the market to peak out. I know that this is where you have been taught in the books to buy the breakout. When the market retested, you could put the house on it. That's not right. That only works well at wave 1. That really doesn't work well at a wave 3 because at this particular point, you're expecting all of the hype to leave the market. All of the big money players leave the market. They are taking profit. I enter here, and they're going to take their own profit at predetermined levels. When they take profit, the market tends to go into what we call consolidation, bouncing around, all of this ugly stuff. You guys are going to learn some stuff here about some order flow. And what I want you to think about these 2 different areas, from this high down to this low. I really want you to think about trading. As long as we're in between these 2 points, we're at equilibrium. The second, let's just say that we got right here in this zone, you got 50 orders to buy and you got 50 orders to sell. This is why price consolidates. The second the last sell order is filled, price will poke its head out. This is generally a trap because there is not enough orders here to send price any higher than it's already going. This is when you catch those trades, double tops, triple tops, head and shoulder patterns. With this particular one, again, the scanner is just like text messages. I don't have to answer them. I don't have to talk to nobody unless I want to. I put a sell stop at wave 3's high. I see you, baby. Here is the peak. I want the market to break above the previous high. Again, you have been taught in every book, in every YouTube video on YouTube Academy that you've ever heard, in baby pips when you were just like practicing. You buy the breakout, buy the breakout. So psychologically, you've always bought the breakout with no concept of market cycles. When is the right time to actually execute that method of thinking or trading? Sell stop, market drop down here, well over, I think this was like a 200 or 300 pip move. Very, very simple trading stuff that we're talking about here. This becomes the head. This becomes a little shoulder. And right up around here, you get a small peak for another shoulder. Head and shoulder patterns are not always perfect. You're not going to always get those major pullbacks that are clear in the market to see. But what I want you to really focus and see is the repetitive nature of what these markets do over and over again, and how I actually just take the Elliott Wave concept, the diagram, and copy it and paste it on the trading platform using the harmonic scanner. Scanner works 24 hours a day as long as the market is open. I don't have to sit in the charts and do this all day. I just have to have the template and a set of rules that work, common sense rules. What are popular market reversal symbols? Double tops, triple tops, head and shoulders. When I see those at the end of a wave 5 with harmonics, what does that tell me to do? I'm only doing one damn thing in the market anyway. Sell it for 30 pips. Right. Sell that thing for 30 pips.
Bruh.
Honestly, that is all that I've done. I've taught individuals on Wall Street how to do this. I've taught, honestly, organization-wide. Your top educators are using Elliott Wave in their stuff for a reason.
This is what I've been trying to explain to you guys when I say that if you're disciplined enough to stick to your methods, stick to your style of trading, don't deviate from the plan, focus on one product, focus on one method. Like this man has literally told you guys, he takes one side of the market and is killing it. And it's just factual over and over and over, example after example. This is what I'm trying to get you guys to understand is that you can make your own way in this thing. This man is teaching Wall Street traders how to do this stuff. Come on, y'all. Come on. Like I always want to bring the value as much as possible. I want to bring that heat so you guys can get that overall view of what we're doing here. I mean, I'm looking at this. Every time he pulls, I'm like, screenshot. I'm like, bro.
But that's how I learned from you guys. Same thing here with this pattern. What you think we looking for? Elliott Wave, baby.
Yep. I'm looking at the numbers right there. You got 1, 2, 3, and you got everything from the breakdown at the 5. And the thing is, even with the 5th, he hasn't even shown you guys an indicator yet.
Right.
Not one indicator yet. He could have put a RSI on here and said, oh, there goes divergence for wave 5. Here goes a MACD divergence for wave 5. He ain't even did none of that. He could have flexed and ain't even tried to open. He didn't even pop one button yet to flex. He's just saying, look, this is what I got. Y'all can take this, work with it, use it, consistently look for the levels, and let the market. And he's saying he's showing you sales because he knows the market moves faster in a sales situation. He's giving you all the sauce or showing you, hey, in my methods and my experiences and my examples, this is what I look for. This is what I can show you. This is what I can give you. It's not any fluff. It's not any kind of Google screenshots. This is what the market's been doing. He's giving you fact after fact here.
And today's what? The 20? Oh, okay. Let me see. Here we go. This made me, when did I do this one? I did this, I think, sometime last night. As you see, Aussie JPY, nothing special. Right over to the chart. I said, oh, shit. Thank you, Mr. Scanner. Definitely appreciate that. Let's see where the market is at currently. H1, Aussie JPY. Thank you, Mr. Scanner.
That wick right there, 30 pips.
I know.
That wick right there is 30 pips.
Thank you, Mr. Scanner. I appreciate it. Now, I do want to leave you guys with this, and I'm going to turn the call over to Kurt. I'm a huge fan of the scanner because regardless of what package a person gets started with, one thing that everybody has is the harmonic scanner.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if you can show them how to effectively use the harmonic scanner, you will notice that you will have a great amount of retention in your organization because you don't have to teach them this every single day. They can do this on their own. But then also there are educators that focus on this every single day. So Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, Manny does a harmonic mastery course every morning at 9 a.m. I recommend everyone jumping on that course, and here's the nugget. I'm on it every day too. So if I already know this stuff and I still jump on those calls, there's a reason for that. And then also a lot of your educators, we've been together for more than 4 years, etc. So they all know my work. They've all seen my work. A lot of them develop their strategies around my work. I'm a huge fan of plugging yourself and your team into those calls daily because the repetition of the information is really going to make the difference for you. It's not one class today and then jumping back on next week or trying a little bit of it today. It's really committing to one course of action, whether it be levels, whether it's what Kurt's teaching you, whether it's Gold Cup, the scanner, whatever that method is, and mastering that one particular thing. Don't look to the left. I don't care what the person to the right is doing. You master your craft. You master the tools that we have. That's the way you develop your organization, develop yourself as a trader. And as you can tell, I didn't do anything special. Everybody here has a scanner as long as your membership is active. So if I could get 90 pips in the morning, literally overnight, because the market was closed on Monday for me. If I can do that, you can do that, and everyone here can count to 5. And I believe everyone here knows what an M and a W looks like.
Yeah. So let me ask you this, because I got to get into some questions now. You've been going hard in the paint.
Oh yeah, I was writing them down.
Okay, bro. So in your opinion, with the harmonic scanner, what's your favorite pattern to look for that's been the most profitable for you since you've been trading with the scanner?
You know, the great thing, they have evolved so much. Before, when I first got started, I was only able to see cipher patterns, and everybody would just like, Oren would call me the cipher god, and it wasn't because I was slow. It was just like, yo, these are the only patterns that I seen, because they always look like the weirdest to me. Like that cipher pattern has that C leg and it just dragged.
Yeah.
So it was like, that was the easiest pattern for me to see. Now at this particular point, I don't really have a particular pattern that I love over any of them. I more so love the setup. So I don't care what the pattern is. If I could count the 5 waves in it, it's a go for me.
Right.
Oh, okay.
I hope that answers your question. But do people have, you know, patterns that they cherish over other ones? Absolutely. But me personally, no. You got 5 waves. I don't care if it's a crab X or they got a new name for it. If I can count the waves, I'm for it.
All right.
So,
go ahead, Chrissy. Go ahead.
Cash, are you using the form that Manny uses?
Yes.
Like to plug in your, okay, so I have that. I'll make sure I drop that for y'all too.
Yes, I think it was like an Excel sheet or something like that. Yes, yeah. That's the sheet that I was on.
Okay.
All right, cool. Another thing because we know, like with anything with trading, bro, you could have kept that up there. That was gold. Folks was
my
like
bad.
that.
Let me put
You
that
good,
back.
you good.
My bad.
You good. So anything right now with, you know, what we do is trading, we know most of this stuff is like, you know, 20%, you know, skill, 80% mental, right? Mm-hmm. With you, what's been the major thing mentally, like in your psychology of trading, like that's really gave you that edge and that confidence? Like, was it a certain book? Was it just the repetition? Was it the community, like an arms with your mentor? Like, what exactly was it for you mentally that got you over that hump? Because some people, you know, it's hard for them to kind of shake that uncertainty and that fear and step into that confidence.
I would say the biggest component of it for me, just a little bit more, it would probably touch more into my background. The numbers that you gave, I love them. I believe that success is 90 to 99% mental. The other 1 to 10% is the skill. Mm-hmm. So like we talked about, there's several different ways to enter the market. The mentality part, I would have to say, was the biggest part for me. I got introduced into this industry of network marketing, which is the company that we're in. It's a network marketing company with an educational base. Make no mistake about it. I got introduced to the industry of network marketing at 18. So the first person in the first book that I was ever encouraged to read was Think and Grow Rich. And from there, it was just like more books. Think and Grow Rich. The Secret was another one. 48 Laws of Power was a great one. Mastery was another one. How to Win Friends and Influence People. Closing the Sale, The Richest Man in Babylon. So the biggest thing that I can say is that I would say that I had a little bit of a head start because I'm 31. I started reading these books and material at like 18. So there's a big gap of personal development where when I was going through this and even failing, it was like, oh, it doesn't matter because I know I'm going to be rich with this. So I would say the biggest part is mental first. And I'm one of those people, I've never read a trading book in my life. Like, you know, the Elliott Wave principles, some of those books, never read them in my life. I read books outside of the field.
I want to back it up just a little bit to what you just said. He said even when he was taking L's, he was like, it doesn't matter. I'm still going to win at this.
He had the right mindset early. You have to approach this with that warrior mentality. Like, it doesn't matter. I'm going to pay the cost up front, whatever it is. You going to have to come get me to get me up off of this. And I don't think you want that smoke. So it's the way he's already approaching it, guys, is what I'm trying to get you guys to understand. If you look at a loss like a lesson, right?
every loss teaches us something. Every loss shows us that we may have missed something. We may be a little early to it, or maybe we misjudged our levels, or as Cash says, the different, points in the market, the different waves. Maybe we misgauged it. We didn't look at a higher enough time frame, or whatever it may be. You look at every setup as the next benefit for the next. Every loss is the benefit for the next setup. You never really lose. And then when you win, you obviously have taken a trade and successfully accomplished what you set out to do. So inside of everything we do, it's impossible for you to lose if you got the right mindset. Some of you guys approach this stuff with that, I gotta win, I gotta be 100%. You put all this unnecessary pressure on yourself, and it's pointless. You're setting up a scenario where it's not benefiting you in any way. If you take the time to just learn, be patient, be kind to yourself, talk to yourself in a better method. Some of y'all cuss yourselves out worse than anybody else did. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta understand, like, it's designed to make you feel slow when you first get in this. We don't have a lot of uncles and aunties and grandmas that did this stuff. Like, when I tell you guys, you're the one, if you sit inside of this car right now, you're the one that's going to save your family. You're the one that the legacy starts with. The generational curse ends with you. But you got to have that fight. You got to have that dog in you. You got to know, like, look, I'm going to take a hit. I'm going to get hit over here with a coconut. But I got to keep running through this jungle. I'm going to get it done one way or the other.
It's a lesson in every loss.
Every bit of it. Like when he said Think and Grow Rich, I already knew. And the thing is, he named book after book after book. He didn't talk about the TV show. He didn't say Power. He didn't say Empire helped him. He didn't say nothing about that. He didn't talk about none of these shows. He didn't talk about Love and Hip Hop. He didn't talk about nobody. He didn't talk about, what is Megan Thee Stallion helped him get it done. He said book after book.
Yeah, it was books. It was books. And it's crazy. When I saw Power for the first season, I was like, oh, this ain't nothing but the book again. Like, I read the book already. So.
Bro.
I kind of know it's kind of get the plot already.
Like, I get the narrative here. You're going from chapter to chapter, bro. Like, what are we doing?
Right.
But, it's crazy. It's damn near the same as when I was a kid. And it's not even crazy, but it's been the same narrative forever. So, Zane books and all of this stuff. You read that stuff, you get the same outcome. You already know what the outcome going to be. Like, we already know the outcome of Power. They just throw a little drill of suspense in there. But we kind of know where this is going, right?
Yeah.
Truthfully, we all know where this is going. So I actually just spent the time reading the books, hanging out with the right people. That was another big thing for me. I met, like, the Jerry D. Rhino Clarks of the world that actually interviewed David E. Monitia, if you don't have that CD. Conceive, Believe, Achieve. I actually had dinner with him when I was like 20 years old. My first introduction.
Got it right here, bro.
China Bentley, Stormy Wellington, all of your top leaders. If you guys don't know it, they used to have a TV show, a network marketing TV show that highlighted individuals of color that were succeeding in network marketing. Needless to say, that show got off of the air really, really quick. But she was one of those individuals that was on that show. So I was always, even back then, wanting the industry, learning about it. And it was finally this company that actually made it click, because my name is Cashmere. So the biggest thing for me was like getting the bag. And when my life changed, when I lost the job, it was back against the wall, and you had to figure this out. Now,
you were making six figures when your job let you go, right?
Yeah, I was already doing that. So the money, that was like a deal.
This is what I'm saying. Like, your approach to money is a lot different from a lot of other people's standpoints. You got people that come from a different background, different, they get different, families, situations, all that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. And you had a situation where you were already making good money and went to nothing and had to figure it out. No silver spoon. Like, I got to make this pop. I got to get a skill set that's going to keep this flowing.
Man, it was days, kid you not, I came outside and my car was missing. Well, one of them was missing. Now I can say one of them. But that one that I had before was missing. And it was like I said, when you're on your path, and I'm really a big fan of writing your goals down and committing to it. I wrote my goal down, and that was to teach the group on Wall Street how to go after just 200 pips a month. That was literally 50 pips a week, and that was all I wanted to do with them in that class. We wound up not doing 50 pips a week. We wound up doing over 7,000 in 6 months. So the power of writing your goals down is big, because I didn't even think that was possible. But I'm still moving in the direction, and one day I go out, my car's missing, because, you got to choose between, and I know you're a dad, and for the parents that are on here, I had to choose between my car and my rent. The rent won, because my daughter, we're not going out in the cold, and I'm not sleeping in the car. So the rent absolutely won. But the thing was, I went to go get my car from Carajo Land, wherever they put it. And I'm at the place pulling out the money out the ATM. Now, I had met Manny at least 3 years before this because we were trading at the Queen's Trade House at the same time. So I'm in there, you know, pulling out my money or whatever, and Manny sees me pull out like 2,000. He's like, so, bro, why did they take your car? And I'm like, yo, bro, I'm just going through some shit right now.
Right.
But the interesting thing about it was that me and Manny not had a fall apart, but IML was doing really, really good. Everybody came into the company, and then everybody kind of like learned the skill set, and IML was going through their growing pains, and everybody parted ways. So when we parted ways, everybody was still trading, but I wound up bumping into Manny through that interaction with my car. And he was the one that re-showed me what IML was doing. And from that point on, Christopher Terry started the call. We went to dinner with him, Isis, and he really laid out the vision for what it is that a lot of the changes and transformations that you guys are seeing now, he talked about over a year or something ago. And that's on my was it 2 years? I think it was 2 years ago, because I think that was in like 2016. It's on my Facebook page. So I say that to tell you guys that the biggest part of your success is going to be the mental aspect. Reading books, getting around the right people, jumping on these webinars, but most importantly, mastery. You are going to go through a process of mastery. And if you don't quit, what I will tell you, and I kid you not, I tell this to every person, you're going to go through this process of mastery. And if you consider yourself just like a seed, you are going to be planted in mastery. And at some point, if you do the right work, go to the events, local and the regional ones. So if you're still on the fence about going to London, get that out of your mind. You need to be in London. If you commit, just like any plant that is watered and put into the sun, you will wake up one day and you will be successful, and you will not know where the hell it came from. And if you've ever read Think and Grow Rich, that is an exact quote from that book, that when riches come, they will come to you so fast.
Yep.
You will not know where they came from.
You just sitting there with
all of those.
Okay.
Like,
so,
thank you.
keep doing the work, keep grinding, continue to plug into your uplines, use your products and services. You have an amazing, amazing community here with individuals who really don't care what team you are on. Just learn this skill set.
Get the bag.
Okay, just get the bag. Nobody cares what team you on. This is one of the most selfless organizations and companies that I've absolutely been a part of, and it has been an absolute pleasure growing in this company and with, you know, individuals like the Kurtz, the Mannings, the Ness, and man, you guys didn't know us from other companies. So this is absolutely amazing to see the growth that's just taking place throughout the company, individuals that are learning the skill set and freeing themselves financially. So I think that's absolutely amazing. I really, really appreciate, Kurt, your time and all of your leaders for putting this call together. It was an honor just to do this. So
I appreciate you. Will you give everybody your social medias, man, so they can follow you, bro? Because the value.
Oh, yeah, sure. If you don't have me already, my social media, you can hit me up on Instagram. It's Trading with Cash. That is Trading with Cash. I think I put it on all my little pictures and all that. I do it on every picture.
Hey,
so we got it.
The brain.
Hey, there we go.
Right.
Trading with Cash. You're right there at the bottom. If you absolutely love this, but also in the session today, and they're really making a push for it. I know Kurt is also. These guys are doing an amazing thing with really bringing my name up with corporate and all of those individuals.
Bro, he got to be on IML TV.
You got to get him
right. To have a Go Live channel, period.
Right.
Look, that was announced. If you guys jump on Manny's sessions, that was announced this morning that they're actually in the works of putting it together.
Let's go.
With the harmonic scanner and everything else. So really, really excited. Drop some fire emojis in the chat.
Let's go.
Right.
We are gonna have a lot of fun.
No, listen. Let me get a 999 in the chat. If y'all gonna check my boy Cass. I always do 999. We spiraling up, baby. We spiraling up.
I take that. Drop them nines in the chat. But it has been absolutely fantastic to grow with this organization, to see so many individuals take on and embrace that Elliott Wave concept. Because, quiet as hell. I paid a lady, she was working with Chase as a trader. So if you don't believe that, like, Chase trades your money, Chase has a Forex side that trades your money. And she showed me the Elliott Wave principle. And I put up a couple of bands for that training, just to find out that IML had an Elliott Wave section with balances and all of that in the damn back office, bro. So I always tell people, use your products and services. If I could look back at my trade career, I wouldn't change anything. But if someone would have told me, hey, listen, definitely use these products because they work, I'd have saved myself a ton of money. I'm doing it.
Man, I try to tell everybody, people like, man, I can go over here and get this off YouTube for free. I'm like, good luck. Good luck. You're going to need it because YouTube will give you a whole bunch of fluff with no facts. You be sitting there just drowning and like, I can't seem to get no profit. I wonder why.
Right. And then click on the next video because, it says suggested.
Right. But yeah, man, listen, I was going to jump on and do a little something with you, bro. But like, listen, you killed it, bro. I don't even want to, I'm supposed to follow that after that. I'm supposed to, you know what I'm saying? Bro murdered it, man. Like, I'm just thankful I finally got a chance to get on the session with you, man, and see you do your thing. Like, I already knew you was a monster in the charts, but it just, being able to see it in person, we got the recording down. So Chrissy's going to post it on our YouTube and everything. If you guys want to get the value, go ahead, check her out on YouTube, follow her. Chrissy Pips is going to be on there. It's going to be amazing. I cannot wait to see my brother on the actual platform. Man, listen, we got to set aside a day and link up, bro, and do a session together.
But look, I can't. We're going to do this again. I feel real at home with this one. So, we're going to do this again. And then also, I can't wait to get out there in Detroit to see what that food y'all be talking about. That sounds like some fat boy problems, right? He like, yo, this guy got fat. But listen, I want to go out there. But then I know we're going to do an event. We're going to do some training and hanging out. I'm looking for the food, man.
Oh, yeah.
I'm hearing about it.
I'm taking him to Asian corned beef. He getting some Benihana. He getting some beans and cornbread. We taking him everywhere.
Look, don't feed me too, right, bro. I may not leave your house, bro. You and the family.
She got the egg roll right there.
I had a pack of these today.
Listen, bro, they got these things called corned beef egg rolls. They put like banana peppers in that boy with the corned beef and the cheese and the cabbage. Oh, listen, you're going to be asleep, bro, halfway out the lot. You're going to be like, listen, just drive me out the room, cuz.
Look, man, you feed me too good. I may not make it back up out of there, bro.
Listen, we going to lock you down in the deal. Like, we got all the value here.
That's what's up. Man, this call was absolutely amazing, bro. Thank you so much. It's been a huge, huge blessing. I really hope you guys got amazing value out of it. But most importantly, go into your charts and go into your demo accounts and start to practice it. Start to use your 0.01s because the truth is I was rocking those out for so long. And then I sent Oren like a screenshot by mistake on the standard. And they was like, yo, how long you been trading standards? And I was like, for a little while. So, but obviously it was from the repetition of the skill set. So continue to plug in with the skill set. Again, you are a seed. And if you keep yourself in the right environment, plugging into these Zoom calls, going to the events, your weekly events, plugging in with your mentor, even when you're at your lowest point, and I'm not saying call your mentor just to complain, but there are some points where you are going to feel like quitting. And what I will tell you is that is that point that you need to push through it. Yep. So your success is 90 to 99% mental. The other 1 to 10 is going to be the actual skill set. You are a seed, and you, like any other seed planted, right environment will grow. You will wake up one day and be very successful, and you will look back and say, I wonder where the hell this was. So again, I want to turn this call right back over to you. Thank you so much for inviting me. Trading with Cash, ladies and gentlemen, definitely follow me on your social media, on your Instagram. Really appreciate you guys.
Listen, my bro murdered it. I'm going to end it here, guys. We're going to be back at it again. I'm going to get him on another call. It's going to be back by popular demand when you show back up, but I'm amped, man.
I'm with it, baby. Let's do it.
All right, guys.
I'm looking forward to this so
Have
much.
a phenomenal night. Yeah, Chrissy been like, she's like, I can't wait to get cash on. We on the plane. She like, we on the plane back to the D. She's like, we gotta get cash on the session. I'm like, I know.
Your wish is the command, baby. You got it.
All right, guys. Have a phenomenal night. Like, listen, Chrissy Pips YouTube. It'll be up there once it's done rendering. We'll have it up there for you guys. I appreciate you guys. You know my slogan is usual, right? Stay patient, stay disciplined, and the gains will come. All right, y'all. We out.
Appreciate you, beloved.